powerful. This is what we're going to talk about. Did everybody show up powerfully today? You feeling powerful? There you go. So, I want to give some context to this. And you want to be better. You want to grow. You're here because you want to grow. You want to be here, just show up and take time out of your day. So you want to be better. You want to grow. You want to be the best version of yourself. That's why you're here, right? Everybody wants to continue growing. So you heard the word planner, right? So you know that the key to your success is discipline in your day, right? We know that we get off track. We see shiny objects, right? Salesmen, real estate agents, the worst. Oh, the worst, right? That's right, I said it, okay? If you were listening to this later, yes, you real estate, you're the worst, right? You see shiny objects, I see shiny objects, things go on. So we have to get structure, planning, but it has to be feeling. It has to be real thoughts behind why you're doing what you're doing. So a couple years ago, I went in the office. It was 6 a.m. Drove in, big packed day, loans coming in. I ended up leaving that night almost at 9 p.m. 15-hour day. It's a fall night. I go outside. I'm like, yes. What's up? I'm grinding. I'm the man. What is your loan officer doing? I flip out my phone and I say, where's your loan officer at? I'm out here grinding. I've been here since 6 a.m. I was feeling bold. I was feeling good. I was making money. And so I came the next day, I was driving to work, and I just had this sinking feeling. I had this just like the clouds were just dark. Felt gloomy. I felt trapped. And I was driving to work. And I just remember that fall, leaves falling kind of a little bit later than it is right now. I drove up and I got to the parking lot. And I remember looking at a tree, and I think I started talking to the tree a little bit. And I was like, man, I don't want to get out of my truck. I'm miserable. I'm miserable. And it just dawned on me. Like a ton of bricks, never felt it coming. It was like a train that just hit me. And I was like, I'm miserable. So I sat in my truck for probably half an hour, trying to just pry my butt out of the seat and go up and get in my office. I finally did. I remember walking up, looking at the door outside, number 2, pulling that door open, going, okay, I'm here. Sat my stuff down, flipped open my laptop, I sat down. And I just sat there, and I sat there, and I sat there, and I said, I don't know if I want to do this any longer. I do not know if I want to be a loan officer any longer. Here I was making more money than I'd ever imagined I'd make in a year. And I was miserable. I felt horrible. Why was that? Well, because I knew, imagine yourself, you're making great money, you're doing well, but all of a sudden it's hitting you like a ton of bricks that you don't have control of your life, of your success, of who you are, of your why. You don't have real control over that. And I knew looking up, going, hey, listen, I am a driven person. Anybody knows me, I'm driven. And I want to have all this success. But all I was looking at is staring into the abyss, that if I wanted to become, double my income or whatever I wanted to do, what kind of hours was I going to have to work? What was I going to have to give up to do that? And so I sat there. It took me 2 days. 2 days I was in a complete spiral for 2 days. Didn't know where I wanted to go. Didn't know what I wanted to do. And so what I did was finally, after 2 days, I said, Adam, get a hold of yourself. What are you going to do about it? And so at that point, I said, I am no longer being a victim to what people expect of me. I'm no longer being a victim to my schedule. I'm going to be empowered. I'm going to be powerful and grow my business, and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. How am I going to get there? So then I started planning, I started growing, I started figuring things out. What I can tell you is that I doubled my income the next year and reduced my hours by 20 hours a week. True fact, true story. To this day, what I did was I make more money and I work about 20, 25 hours a week in the loan business to make the income I do. Now, like, whoa, well, how is that? Because I work powerfully through my day. I know the big rocks. I put the people in place. I know how to run my day, what's important, how I internally will operate, how it should feel. I could easily work triple the hours and do the same amount of deals I do right now, if I allowed it. And so, Luke, you are kind of new to the game. I want to tell this story. There was an experiment they had with monkeys one time, and they went to go crawl up and get a banana, but before they would throw water on the monkey. One by one, they would do it. After a while, they never attempt to go get the banana. So they introduced a new monkey in the mix. The monkey went to go get it because he never had got doused by water. Guess what happened? The other monkeys grabbed him and jerked him down before he could go up there. So, why I say that to you, Luke, and why I'm talking to everybody, is that who's the monkeys you're hanging around with, right? That say, hey, you have to work 70 hours a week to succeed. Right? You probably heard it. I can't go on vacation. Bull. You can go on vacation. That's not true. And you can have a successfully, huge, widely, massively successful business. So I want you to come out of the gates and know that ain't true, that ain't true, that ain't true, that ain't true. It's how you operate your business. So you may think, this is just Adam. This is only one. Well, I was talking to John, one of my coaching clients. He was working 60 hours a week to do 12 loans a month. And I asked him, I said, you know, John, and John's 38 years old, got a couple kids, struggling a little bit. He's making good money, he's struggling. And I said, how would you like to do 22 loans a month and 38 hours a week? He said, that's great. However, that ain't gonna happen. I have to grind, I have to grow, I have to do all these things, right? So he's telling himself all these things. I said, well, let's do some experimenting. Let's run your day. Let's use this powerful planner, and let's figure and dial things out, dial things in. So over the next 20 weeks, he ended up now is at 16 loans a month. So he went from 12 to 16. You say, well, that's not a huge difference. Well, it is kind of. But when you know now he's doing it in 47 hours a week, it's quite impressive, right? So I say this not to, I'm speaking to you because I care about you. I care about everybody I talk to because I want them to grow their business. I want them to do it the right way. I don't want them to be internally broke like I've been. And I want you to know that you don't have to give up on your dream. And that is a two-part. It's not an either or. We tell ourselves either or. Either I have to be successful and give up everything, or I can't be as successful as I want and I can have a life. There's not an either or. There's a yes. Okay? So, there is, now we're going to hand this out here in a second. There's really 3 things off the bat to own your day, off the bat. You have to have massive clarity of what you want to do, how your day is going to be operated. Number 2, you have to have an absolute why you're doing what you're doing. And that is a real feeling. So as I was talking to one of my clients this morning, he's filling out, he's doing the planner, and I said, you're pencil whipping it, aren't you? He said, yes, I am. And he was very authentic and very real, and that's cool. That's what I want. And I said, okay. So I said, Brian, let me ask you something. I said, have you ever went in there and had feelings behind what you're writing down? He's like, no. I said, that's a big miss, right? It's just like when we sell, we got to sell to ourselves. So anybody heard the old adage, right? People buy with emotion and justify with logic. Well, we have to sell ourselves every single day. We have to sell ourselves on our vision and our why and get massive clarity around it. If you don't have the true feeling, you won't move the needle. When it comes tough, when you don't want to do something, you're not going to do it because you don't have the why, you don't have the feeling, you don't have the clarity. So you want to get clarity, you want to get why, and you want to have massive energy. Massive energy. Okay? You can't do anything without the energy. You can be the best salesperson in the world. You can know more than anybody else in the world in your position, what you're doing. If you don't have the energy, kind of hard to meet it. So many people as you need to have, you meet. It's hard to do things in a condensed period, right? It's hard because you're sluggish, you don't feel good. And so what is energy? Energy is a lot of things. So energy is fitness, nutrition, taking care of yourself. Energy is relationships. What relationships do you need to have? What do you need to shed? That's business, that's personal. We've all been there, right? Energy drainers, right? I'm in the point of my business. Clay, if you're an energy drainer, you're a real estate agent sending me stuff, I move on. I'll get somebody that I want to work with because that's taking my energy and that's costing me money. Just because you're sending me a deal and you're draining my energy, I may get 3 more deals because my energy's higher. So relationships are a huge, vital part of that. And I'm not picking on Clay. Clay's got good energy. He gives me energy. Good guy. I mean, Kelly on the other hand. No, just no, Kelly's awesome. But everybody in this room's awesome. But you have to understand where energy's coming from on relationships. And purpose. You have to have true purpose to really give you that energy. You have to come out of the gates and have purpose. It gives you energy. It's why am I doing the things I'm doing? You have to get the energy, right? And then really, you have to give yourself no choice. And so I have these shirts. It's called No Choice, Growth, Legacy, Impact. What's no choice? So they were asking Nick Saban, boo, probably some people booing if I'm in front of too much of a crowd, right? The Alabama Crimson Tide. I'm not an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. However, Nick Saban's done a few right things. Right? He's coached a few good football teams. So the reporter asked him something about, what his football team was was doing, et cetera. And he said, a lot of these athletes think they have a choice. But really, if you're trying to be great, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. So, how do we apply that? So, anybody ever went and said, hey, listen, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to exercise, only to hit their snooze 7 times and not go work out? Anybody? Right? Yeah, no, I have. We gave ourselves a choice. What is no choice? No choice is you set the alarm across the room and your butt has to get out of bed to turn it off, and you got no choice to get up, right? You've got your workout clothes laid out. You got everything set and ready. So it's no choice. Got to get up. Oh, well, I'm already up. I might as well start going. That's what you want to do. You want to box yourself into no choice situations. Is this what I have to do if I want to be successful? If I want to grow? If I want to get to my family? Those are things we need to box ourselves into. Okay, so Krista, if you want to go ahead and hand these out, we'll kind of go over some of this stuff. And this is going to be, I got a challenge for everybody in here. This is 12 weeks. This is a 12-week powerful planner, and before I'll go through it. But 12 weeks to fill us out Monday through Friday, every single time, all in. I challenge you to do it. I want to see how much growth you can have. Now, out of all the people in here, I'm going to say 1 or 2 is going to actually do it. And I guarantee you that 1 or 2 will be the one that has more success this 12 weeks than the others. So the challenge is, which one are you? Are you in the crowd that's not going to do it? Or are you in the crowd, you're going to be the person that's going to do it? That's going to take hold, root, and go ahead and move forward. So let's go through it. My thoughts. It's just general, like get a little thought process of what's going on. Grateful for, pretty easy, right? Morning mindset. Where will I get my energy from today? So where are you going to get your energy? You need to know where I'm going to get max energy. I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to pour into a relationship. How am I going to get energy? Because you have to have energy sources to win. Remember that. So how are you going to get max energy? And I'm not talking about drinking 3 Red Bulls, okay? Clay, knock it off. You're going to die. Stop it. Get energy from somewhere else besides your 4 Red Bulls, okay? It just keeps getting bigger. See, I just keep, your wife's going to watch this. You really drink 4 Red Bulls? She's going to be concerned about you. But you got it. So no choice. What am I going to give myself no choice to do today? I'm going to make the calls. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to call 20 people. I'm going to do this. What are you going to give yourself no choice today to do? Will, skill, resources. Really, it all comes down to will, skill, resources. Your will to win, your skill, and what resources you need to put in place. So what do I need to specifically concentrate on today? If I was a high performance coach, what would I tell myself to remember? So that's the outer perspective, right? That's what a coach does to you anyway, right? They look at your what's going on because they're like, well, hey, have you considered this? But outside of that, think of yourself as well. Like if I was coaching myself, if at a high level, like what would I be telling myself? How would I be telling myself to operate, feel, etc.? Go be someone's hero today. Just, man, like in the morning, that's going to give you energy, right, too. It's like, man, Gianna, that's the one that I'm going to figure out a way to make her day. It may be your kid, maybe your mom, maybe it could be just somebody you haven't talked to in a while. This is good for them. This is good spiritually. Go be someone's hero today. It doesn't have to be you save somebody from a burning building. It could be just making their day. My day will be successful if action and feeling. So I want you to think when you start your day, what actions you have to have. More importantly, what's the feeling I'm going to feel? And remember, we only move through feelings. That's when we start taking action. I mean, nobody really cares too much, right, about all of a sudden, numbers, like it's a number. Like we don't really move on numbers. We move on feeling. Move on attachment. So really get in there. Once you get emotional, I want you to think about that. How am I going to feel? I'm going to feel, man, oh my gosh, if I get all my calls in, if I do this, I'm going to feel like I've accomplished something, that I have built trust with myself. And this is what this is, by the way. So, trust in the Lord is the biggest trust you can have. But the biggest person you can trust is yourself. So think about this. I want you to really imagine this. Imagine if you trusted yourself to the highest order. You trusted yourself that you're going to operate at a tempo that was being great. You're going to have the right conversations. You're going to pour in. You're going to do all the right things. You trusted yourself. How would you operate differently? If you trusted yourself, would you make that next call? Because you trust that you can have a conversation without getting mad if somebody's mean to you. Can you, right? We've been there. I've been there. I didn't trust myself to make the next call. I didn't trust myself to make a cold call because I didn't trust myself that I was not going to want to smack somebody's head if they were mean to me, right? I didn't trust myself. You have to do things to make yourself trust yourself, because when a deal goes bad, say in real estate, goes bad, we have to trust that we are doing everything going forward that we can get the next deals. what we do is that trust is eroded. So we do not go and operate at the same tempo because we don't trust in ourselves. We don't trust how we show up. And so I was talking to one of my, Brian the other day, my client again, and we were talking about how he was showing up and how he was calling real estate agents. And his routine was off. So what did that do? He didn't show up confidently making those calls. He couldn't say, hey, Kelly, I'm the man for the job. He couldn't as confidently do that because he didn't have his stuff in order, right? Like anybody been working from home right now and they're in pajamas, right? You know, and you're kind of like, man, I don't feel it today. And somebody, you know, a $500,000, client calls you and you're like, right? You're like, you don't feel as confident in that moment as you would if you had like, you're dressed up in the office, right? You just don't. You don't. You could say you do, but you just don't. You don't feel the same way. You don't act the same way. You can try to overcome it, but you don't. So we have to do things consistently to trust ourselves and have routines and know that, hey, listen, when I'm going to show up, I'm always showing up. I'm showing up right. And dang it, they are absolutely crazy not to use me. And that's how you should feel. But the reason you don't is because you don't trust yourself. It's not the market. It's not anything else. It's because you don't trust yourself. Okay? What's a potential time suck? Sucking all your time. How would my best self handle it? You have to think about that before the day starts. For me, being a loan officer, how do I reduce my hours? Because I know potential time sucks that morning. Right? The Johnson file is going to be a mess. I mean, good God, they have like, dang, they got like 42 cash deposits that's going to, nightmare, and everybody's going to be calling me and wanting me to close this thing, and they just got it. They just got their money in their account, and they just want to throw cash in there, right? That's potential time suck. So what does loan officers do, right? The ones I talk to all the time, sitting behind a computer, Jedi mind trick. I'm going to will this to the closing table, right? Jedi mind trick. I think all my loan officers are like Jedi mind trick. They really believe in Jedi mind tricks. It doesn't work, but they believe in it because they're just going to sit behind a computer staring at it, figuring out like, I'm going to wait for another email, and somehow I'm going to be depressed and just let it suck the will out of me. But somehow that's going to help my client. Somehow it's going to help Kelly. Somehow it's going to help Lacey close her deal. Was that going to help anything? No. However, if we don't get in front of it beforehand and go, hey, listen, these potential time sucks can happen today. How am I going to best perform and make sure I'm in front of it? We can do that, but we don't, right? How many people has had a time suck in here and let it just run their day and they shouldn't have? Anybody? Everybody's had it. Don't let it happen. Like your time is worth money. Your energy is worth money. Use it wisely. So the big rocks, think about the big rocks you have to move that day. Pretty simple. Like what is the big 3 things you have to do? And that's a way to run your day. You have to look at those things. What is the big things, what do I have to do today, right? And powerful, what's a powerful? It's 4 time blocks. That's immovable every single day. Immovable. Energy time. We talked about it. Where are you going to get your energy from? You say, hey, I'm going to work out from 6 to 7. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to do that. Where are you getting your energy from? So where's your energy time out of the gates? Like charge forward so you can be your best self. You can show up right. You can show up for your clients. You can show up for your relationships in the best manner. And then 2 prospecting blocks. You're going to be a prospecting. You're going to be a marketing block. 2 times. Immovable. I don't care what's going on in your business. You can put 2 in there. Now, does it have to be 3 hours a piece? Absolutely not, and I don't want you to do that. I would suggest, what I've found the best is 45 to 52 minute block at max when you do it. It's concentrated, and when I say that, people are like, that's not that long, and then go ahead and watch when they're trying to prospect. All right, see what's on Facebook. Anyway, oh, hey, what's going on? Or, hey, oh, there's an email. Well, I did my hour. It's like, no, you didn't. It is absolutely nothing else matters in that time. Doesn't matter unless there absolutely is actually a fire and you actually have to get out. And then still take your phone and still start calling, right? You know, no excuses, no choice. So 2 time blocks. And then you need to have, at the end of the day, family, friends time, something again that is really concentrated. So I was talking to one of my clients and he was working, at the time probably 70 hours a week. And I asked him, I said, let me ask you something. I said, you know, how's your relationship going, all that? And then I asked him, I said, if you were, for the rest of your life, only able to spend an hour or 45 minutes with your wife in a day, is it possible for you to have a better relationship in that setting than you have now? And if so, how? Think about that for a minute. Imagine that. You only have an hour, 45 minutes every night. How could it be more impactful? So everything, think about right now. If you imagine right now, you can even close your eyes if you want to, and imagine your life. Imagine the good times of your life. What goes through your head? Little glimpses of pictures that you have going through your head, right? And a lot of those times didn't even last 5 minutes, right? But it's concentrated. That time is freaking go time. Like I'm going to figure out like how I'm going to be all in that time, and that's it. If I only have 30 minutes, I only have 45 minutes, like I'm going to be all in. Everything else everything ceases to exist. And I can promise you, if you do that, you're going to be so much better off. You're going to feel good, and you're going to capture memories. Anybody ever, and just like I asked him, I said, he was working from home, right? This is a big thing right now. Everybody working from home, and you're with your wife or your family for 24 hours a day. And like, what'd you do for the last week? You're like, well, you can't remember anything. You get there, you lay your head down like, I don't even remember, were they even there? Right? Because there's no memorable, lasting experiences that you had. So when I say, is it possible and how, then it absolutely is possible, right? Because it's not the amount of time, it's the amount of effective time, right? And that's what we're talking about in this planner, is condensing your day and being all in, no choice to do actionable items and have feeling behind it, having the why, having the clarity to do the actionable things you need to do, and let the rest go. I can tell you as a loan officer, I can tell you as a real estate agent, right? People beat you up all the time mentally, right? It's just a mental drain. So I was talking to my client this morning, another example, and he said, he was having this agent that kept sending him crap. And everybody else, and then they're closing all these other deals with other people, right? So she's just sending him just the like, hey, here's this 540, see if you can do anything with it. You're not good enough to send the other stuff, right? First of all, I'm like, you need to have a conversation, because you're not you need to show value. That's not right. And you say, well, yeah, no, I don't care. If any real estate agent wants to start sending me just 540 deals and that's all they're sending me, I haven't shown the value to you, that's cool. But you're not showing me value, and I value myself more than that, right? And so he was having this, and he said, sent him a deal last night, trying to get it done. It's like 8 o'clock at night. It's like this hanging in like hair in a biscuit, I always call it. Like, right, dumpster fire. And she's like hammering him to get this pre-approval out. And he's like, man, it's dicey, and I have to ask a question. And, he's just like, got all this internal stuff going on, and he's just stressed and all that. And so he's going to have to call her this morning, and he can't get the deal done. And I said, why is that making you feel bad? What is going on, right? And he's taking it personal, right? It's personally hurting him. It's personally taking in energy, right? And so we do that. We have that goes on in our life and in our business, that we're letting people take energy from us and stealing it from us because we're taking it personal. One of the great quotes I love is from Daniel Cormier. He's a UFC fighter. He said, if you get lost in your victories, you'll get lost in your defeats. Take nothing personal. When you're having a lot of success, don't take it personal. Don't take it so personal that you get so high. People talk all the time in real estate. Loan officers, it's highs and lows, highs and lows. That's on you. That's on you. I want you to understand that. That is on you. It's on you. If you are highs and lows in the real estate game, that's on you. Doesn't mean you don't have issues. That's because you're getting so high when you get a clear close that you will get super low when something doesn't go right. Right? Don't take it personal. It doesn't mean that you can't care for clients. Those are not mutually exclusive to each other. You don't have to feel bad that you don't get like, oh my God, like, things are crashing when things don't go right. You can show empathy without letting it crash you and crash your energy, okay? So, energy time, so fill that out. Like, where'd you get how'd you show up in energy? Prospecting time, another prospecting block. Like, did you get a 5 there? Did you get a 1 there? How powerfully was I today? How will I improve on my lowest rating tomorrow? So at the end of the day, you want to self-check yourself. And then when we talk about the days, so the days change every day, and this is for, now obviously, Gianna, you're not a real estate agent, but you can obviously apply this. But this right here, you're going to have a top target of the day. So real estate agents, you go out there and what's your top business? You really probably have a business partnerships. One of the biggest misses that real estate agents have out there, it's a huge miss, it's all the time. Like, they just don't have enough business partnerships. It's always Zillow, sucks. Yeah, oh, sorry. I don't know if we have to delete that or anything. I don't know on the camera, you suck. Anyway, Zillow, you got, you're doing all these Facebook leads, you're doing all this stuff, right? But it's all consumer direct, which is cool. You don't need to give that up, consumer direct. However, like, there's a lot of business partnership. There's great people like Gianna right here that's a connector that can connect you with other business people that can send you multiple deals, right? Maybe it's a nursing home director that knows when people are moving out of their homes, right? Like, there's so many business partnerships out there that is a multiplier. Stop being a singles hitter. I love Pete Rose, but he's a singles hitter, right? Pete Rose back in the day. I know everybody booing on that, right? Pete Rose, singles hitter, okay, which is great. But in all seriousness, be that home run hitter. They be that multiplier. Because if I get someone off of Facebook, for example, directly, that's a one and done usually, right? You may get their family, friends. Obviously, we understand that. However, for you, like Kelly, we've done tons of deals together, right? You're a multiplier to me because I'm taking care of you. I'm staying in front of you. I'm trying to create value, all that stuff, right? Multiplier. You as real estate agents have multipliers out there. Why are you just one and done? So business, start looking for top targets out there that are business people that are just, and how I know that, just start connecting with good business people. If they are a business mind, if they're smart, if they're successful, get to know them. Get to know them. Well, they can't directly send me business. You don't know that. So John, I've done this, for a year and a half or whatever. Off of these, out of business partnerships, can't even tell you how many deals I've got off that. All I did is go to serve, go to help, and it shows up. But you look for the multipliers. So business to business referral, that could be a business partnership like Gianna, and you have a business partnership like, hey, who else can you refer me to as another business owner, a business partnership? So think about those referrals that you can get. So you want business relationships, those could be current ones that you're following up with. that you're continue to massage, continue to try to show value, stay in front of. People forget you. I know you think you're the most important person in the world. Actually, everybody thinks that. So they forget about you, right? You have to stay in front of them. So you want to keep going on doing that. Who can I refer? This should be a huge concentration every single day. Who can I refer? For me, it's harder to refer real estate agents because I got so many real estate agents, right? But can I refer a financial advisor? Absolutely. Refer them all the time. I got a system that, like when they come in, we already get them a quote for life insurance, right? Who can I refer today? So don't think like they can refer me. Like who can I refer out? Who can help somebody I know? Guess what? A lot of reciprocation comes out of that. 5 DMs a day. So I have a thing in my playbook where I made, this is real math, 5 DMs a day, every day for 30 days. Do you know how much money I made off that? $21,000. Anybody want $21,000 from DMs? Anybody want even 10? 5. DMs are good. Direct message on Facebook. How do you do that? Well, you be interested, not interesting. That's number 1. Have conversations with people. Stories are great. People love to talk about their dogs. Have conversations with people. Set appointments in there if you see the opportunity. Right now, in this time, in this age, like digital's there. Phone calls are great. I'm a big phone call guy. Definitely make your phone calls. It's not an either or. I had a client I was talking to, he's like, okay, so I should just DM. I'm like, it's not what I said. I said, it's a yes. It's not an either or. It's a yes, right? And that's a common thing I'll say to people. It's a yes, not either or. It's a yes. But 5 DMs, it's really easy. How hard would that be for you all? Just say, from now on, I'm going to do 5 DMs every single day, without exception. I'm just going to look who's online right now. I'm going to talk to them. Past client. I've got deals from past clients, referrals from past clients. I've got them to refinance. I've set appointments through there for real estate agents. Right? It's a good thing. I think Luke and I have talked through there, right? Like DM. Just talk to people. DM. 3 video messages. In this day and age, you can't go and see everybody all the time. There's bomb out there. There's a lot of things you can do. I'll just flip it out and go, hey, what's going on? What's going on, Kelly? Love you. Oh, happy birthday. Whatever you got to do. Somebody that you want to connect with, get in front of, personal connection, 3 video messages a day. Birthday calls, stop just putting it on their Facebook wall. Nobody even knows you said anything. Like they don't even remember, right? Like you're one of 368 people that said that. Like go ahead, have a poll like a day later. Do you remember that I said something on your wall about happy birthday? Like, did you? You said thank you back, right? Like call them. Like nobody calls except for their grandma. So you're gonna call them, have fun with them. Leave them a message. Then if they don't answer, do a video message. Oh my gosh, happy birthday! What's up? Right? Connection, real connection. Top 10 client follow-up. So like that could be over the weekend. You talk to somebody, whatever. So putting those top 10 clients follow-ups. You got to stay in contact with them. They're going to forget who you are. So wrapping up here, each day has a little bit of different targets of who you're calling. So the main one is business people, and the first one, the Tuesday is your updates. Get your updates, follow up with people, updates. For me, Kelly, Tuesday, right? Every Tuesday I'm updating, and it saves me a ton of time. We talk about condensing your time. If I'm calling on Tuesday, it's less likely you're going to call me between time when I'm in the middle of something, breaking up what else I'm doing. So if they know that and you set precedent, that's the whole thing. People have to know. It's all whole thing. It's like, and I coach my people all the time. They're like, well, they're calling, and I told them I'll get back to them. I was like, did you tell them a specific time? I will get back to you by noon tomorrow. Not ASAP, because ASAP means like, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 3 days. Everybody has a different, understanding of ASAP. So Tuesday, you update people. Get your updates. Talk to your people. Wednesday, as you see there, pre-approved buyers, people that weren't ready to buy yet. You need to have lists. I can tell you that to put this on there. But before you start your day, you should put your list together. That way, when you go to prospect, boom, 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 you know who to follow up with. Okay? That's your Thursday is your past clients. Client family, I call them. They're family. They're family. One thing we did, and I love, by the way, is I have a Facebook group just for my clients, my past clients, my client family. We call it Hires Team Family. We give little giveaways in there. We're constantly in communication with them. Remember, the poll, I believe, is 76% of people said they will use the same real estate agent the next time. 18% actually do. Believe it or not, they'll forget your name, who you are, if you don't follow them. So stay in front of them. So call them. Stay in front of them. As you're growing your business, you may not have a lot off the bat, right? But then after time, you're going to have more and more and more. You have to write those down. Friday's a day to really, family and friends, see how they're doing. Family and friends can get you business. Plus, you just need to love on them anyway. Call your mama. New business pros, you can kind of work on some new business pros there as well to grow your business. And then you're going to see, you're going to review yourself. You're going to fill that stuff out. And, this is all about adjustments. How am I getting better? So I'm going to challenge who is going to be the one or two that's actually going to do this without fail and grow their business and grow their mindset. Because I can tell you, if you just slough it off and say, hey, I'm just going to keep doing the way I do it, you're just going to keep getting the same results. And you didn't show up here to get the same results. I don't show up anywhere to get the same results. Do you? Hell no. I want more results. Limited risk equals limited income, right? So, are you powerful? And how powerful will you be for the rest of this year?